Hi. Today I want to talk about some astrology topics that go into a little bit more of the body of the subject. Previously I've been talking a little bit more about the philosophy, but today I want to show a few things about the Vedic astrology itself. So here we have some very basic aspects of astrology and Vedic astrology. So first we have the planets. There's the moon, the sun. We call them the luminaries. There's Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. And these are listed in the order of how fast they move. All of the planets move at different speeds. Also shown are the north node and the south node of the moon. In Vedic astrology, these are called Rahu and Ketu. There's mythology behind it. It's very meaningful and helpful to understand what they signify. But for now, we'll just focus on a little bit more of the astronomical part of it. The north node is the point at which the moon's path around the earth intersects the earth's path around the sun. So we all know that the earth revolves around the sun, but as we think about it, we think that the sun revolves around the earth. That's what it appears to us to be in the sky. But either way we look at it, the path of the earth around the sun is called the ecliptic. And so the moon constantly spinning around the earth, those two paths will intersect at 2 points, one in the north and one in the south. And the north node is called Rahu, south node is called Ketu. And we use these, they're very important in Vedic astrology. In Western astrology, they also exist. They just call them the nodes of the moon, north and south. But there's a big focus on them in Vedic astrology. You may notice that there are some planets missing, especially if you're familiar with Western astrology. Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, and there are others that are used in Western astrology. Traditionally, in Vedic astrology, those outer planets, they aren't used. And there are different reasons for that. One reason is they move very slowly. So they're almost generational, whereas these planets move fast enough that you can look at changes from hour to hour, or, well, day to day, half a day to a day, depending on their speed, or months, and see them moving. But with the outer planets, they move so slowly that, you know, if you're born in the same year or a few years, or even clump of a larger number of years, you may have basically the planet in the same place for two different people. So how can that be very, very personal? Still, if you do a reading with me, you will find that I do use Pluto. I find it to be quite powerful and useful. And I think using the outer planets is a good thing and useful. Western astrologers do it, but I don't use them too much. The second thing we need to know is the signs. You're probably all familiar with these, and you probably all know what your sun sign is. Or you just say, in the Western world, we just say our sign. It's our sun sign. But in Vedic astrology, your sign would, if someone asked you, I don't know if they actually asked that in India, but if they did, it would mean, what's your moon sign? So what does that even mean, the sun sign and the moon sign? let's go over here to what we have here. This is the North Indian Vedic astrology chart. There's two different ways to draw it. There's the North Indian and the South Indian. I like to use the North Indian. There's no, astrologers just use whichever they like, or they're versed in both, that's fine. This is the North Indian one. And what we're looking at here is, you see there's the 12 signs, and then there's 12 diamonds here. And what happens is, all of the time, right now, an hour from now, tomorrow, a month from now, the planets, if you were to take a snapshot of the sky, you would see, tell us if we had the right equipment and you could know where they are. You would be able to say, okay, so the sun, let's say, is here. And let's say the moon is here. Maybe Mars is here. Maybe Venus is with Mars. Something like that. And the other ones, I won't draw all of them. But I think you get the point. What each of these diamonds are, they're called houses. So you may have heard in talking about astrology what the houses are. I think there are some songs that mention it, songs we all know, sing about the houses and the signs and rising and things like that. Hopefully you'll understand all these things, if you don't already, at the end of this video. So these diamonds are the houses, and always in the North Indian chart, this top diamond is the first house. Let's put a 1 there. And the other houses are always, all the houses in the North Indian chart are fixed positions. So the second house is right here, third is here. Notice we're going counterclockwise. And this would be the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. So in anybody's chart, your chart, my chart, the chart of the America or any place right now, if we draw it, the first house will be at the top, 7th house at the bottom, counterclockwise for all the others. Hopefully that's making some sense. I'm going to now erase these numbers because you'll see why in a minute. Okay, so if I were to do a reading for you, or if you were to even get your chart any way you got it, or do it yourself, you would see represented in your chart the planets, but also the signs. So these signs here, they exist in the houses. In the Vedic astrology system I use, the relation between houses and signs is very simple. A sign occupies an entire house. It's very easy. There are other house systems, they're called, in Vedic astrology, also in Western astrology. Astrologers tend to kind of pick one. The one I was trained to use, is the simplest one. So let's say that in this chart, remember how we were talking about constantly, right now, an hour from now, a month from now, always, the planets are moving in here at whatever speed they tend to move at. And not only are the planets moving, but the 360-degree zodiac is also moving in terms of what we can see in the sky. So at this point, what are these things anyway? What's Aries and what's Taurus? It's a chunk of the sky. It's a 30-degree division, which is 1/12 of the 360-degree area of the sky that we can see. It's really just an even 30-degree division, and within it there are stars and planets come in and go, and so you have the planets moving within the signs moving within the houses. And when you're born, it all, for the purpose of casting the chart, it's like taking a photo. It all stops. You get a snapshot. And so let's say that you happen to be born when Aries was rising. So I haven't said what rising is yet. I think I'll explain it right now. So rising is synonymous with ascendant, or in Vedic astrology the term is lagna. Lagna. You might hear me say all three of those at some point. They all mean the same thing. What it means is when you're born, which sign was on the eastern horizon. So we know that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Let's say Taurus is your rising sign. I'm going to put a number 2 here. Now it's a little confusing because we had the numbers here for the houses. This is still the first house, top diamond, but I'm putting a 2 for Taurus. It's just easier than writing Taurus or drawing the glyphs, which you have to memorize, and you're going to learn to draw them and all that. So I'm going to put a 2. The astrology software does this too. So that means, if you see that in your chart, Taurus was on the eastern horizon. We've got Taurus rising, and that means Taurus in the first house. It means it's rising, it's the lagna, it's the ascendant. Gemini in the second, Cancer in the third, Leo, 5, in the fourth, Virgo, 6, in the fifth, Libra in the sixth, Scorpio in the seventh, Sagittarius in the eighth, Capricorn in the ninth, Aquarius in the 10th, Pisces in the 11th, and Aries in the 12th. So with that, I think we'll call that enough for today, and I hope you have a great day. Om.